This is a Sports Radio Live podcast covering your world of sports. Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live. It's weekdays at 3 on 99.3 Talk FM, the talk of East Texas.
.59 in Tyler, 58 in Longview.
Before in baseball.
Jeremy Lin and company in town, taking on a Heat team that has won 8 straight at home.
Over the weekend, the Detroit Red Wings set an NHL record by winning their 23rd straight home game.
At the top of the screen right now, you will see the Daytona 500 starting lineup.
But Ribeiro back up to get it. Shot it in front. They score! Louis Erickson in front.
Coach K and the Blue Devils trying to avoid losing to FSU for the 3rd straight time. Austin Rivers finds Miles Plumlee, who seals a 74-66 Duke win.
Back in a USA. Live and local. This is Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.
Thank you, sir, man. Have another.
Here's Bryan Houston.
Barry Horn, our buddy from the Dallas Morning News, just posted his weekend Oscar Film Festival.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
A Few Good Men.
Okay.
My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
Inherit the Wind.
Yeah.
Coming to America. No accounting for taste, he says.
But I love Shawshank Redemption.
Hey, I do too. All I said was he left out Blazing Saddles and Bull Durham.
Yes, Bull Durham, absolutely.
Bull Durham has got to be top of the hit list. I'll tell you another movie. You want to see a great movie. It's the Russell Crowe movie.
Gladiator?
No. It was about the fighter.
Oh, yeah, Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man is maybe my favorite dramatic movie.
It's good.
Oh, and it's a gut wrencher too.
You know what? That movie's a little over 2 hours, probably.
Yes.
That's about as much boxing as I watched in like the last 5-10 years.
That was a
totally worth it.
Terrific movie.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to be talking baseball in just a few minutes as we have continued to talk. That's been kind of the hot topic today between Ryan Braun and then Josh Hamilton and what he had to say today. And then we got minor league baseball, and then we got these up-and-comers, an East Texan, by the way, who is on the APEC VIP hotline right now, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us on the line from Carthage, Texas, and with the Chicago White Sox, it's Philip Humber. How you doing, Philip?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you very much for being on with us today. Now, tell us, are you guys already at spring training now?
Yeah, I've been here since I guess last weekend, and we actually had our first our official reporting day was yesterday for pitchers and catchers. So we just got going, for real, the last couple of days. But it's good to be here, man. It's good to be back in Arizona in the warm weather and starting to play baseball again.
And I would imagine after the season you had last year that it's probably even more so for you this time.
Yeah, man, it was definitely thankful for the opportunity that the White Sox gave me last year and was able to have some success and it's definitely a good feeling to come in and for me the last couple of years I've been bouncing around so much that it's nice to even just come in and know the guys and know all the staff and kind of have a comfort level there, and then also have that confidence from the success I had last year.
Okay, let me ask you about that, because you guys won the national championship over at Rice, and then you go to the Mets in 2006. You're with them for a couple of years. You're with Minnesota for a couple of years. You go to Kansas City. At that point, what are you thinking about the way your career is headed? Are you thinking this is just not going to work, or what's going through your mind?
Well, I mean, it's tough. At times you feel that way. Like, it's been a kind of a winding road for me, I guess, in a sense. But there's only 750 guys out of however many are playing professional baseball or in the big leagues. So just being in the big leagues at all is tough to do. And what I learned early on was it's one thing to get there. It's hard enough to get there, but it's even harder to stay. So. It's been a battle, but at the same time, I've learned a lot. I've matured a lot as a player and as a person through through some of the changes and you know, struggles I've gone through. So I'm thankful for all of it. You know, I wouldn't be the person I am today without, you know, going through some of that stuff. So, you know, just it makes me appreciate it every day, you know, more. Every day I get to go to the ballpark and put that uniform on, you know, you kind of start seeing that, you know, you never know when somebody's going to come tap you on the shoulder and tell you, you know, we don't need you anymore. So it's definitely a privilege to be able to play this game and play for a living. So don't take any of that for granted, for sure.
Philip Humber with the Chicago White Sox on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM. Now, Philip, you got out of baseball hell getting away from Kansas City where nobody knows anybody plays Major League Baseball anymore, and you get to Chicago. What changed? What clicked for you? Because you end up with a year, I mean, the most innings you'd ever pitched prior to that in a Major League season was 21 and 2/3, and now you get 163 innings pitched. What happened?
You know, I think probably a combination of a lot of different things. I mean, you know, that was the first time I'd really, you know, been given an opportunity to go out there and start, you know, in the big leagues. And, you know, just having, you know, somebody tell you, you know, you're our guy, you know, you're the guy we want out there. And you know, that gives you some confidence. And you know, like I said, a lot of the things I've gone through in Kansas City, I have some great things to say about them. I mean, they gave me some chances when I thought my career was about over. And so they gave me an opportunity in the big leagues. And really that year in 2010 is when I kind of turned the corner and felt like, you know what, my stuff's good enough. I'll go out there and throw strikes. And you know, I've got good enough stuff to get these guys out. And that's really the biggest hurdle you have to overcome as a young player. Is you know, you've grown up watching a lot of these guys, and it just seems like a totally different game, and sometimes it can speed up on you out there, you know, in your mind. And so just being able to relax a little bit, I think, and just let my ability, you know, go to work. And you know, and then, you know, we had, you know, a pitching coach over here that, you know, I was able to relate to, and he really, you know, was able to kind of just make it really simple for me as far as what I needed to do to perform at my best. And so yeah, that's, you know, just a combination of a lot of different things. But it was a lot of fun, you know, last year. But really, you know, it doesn't mean much now. You know, it's more about, you know, what have you done for me lately? So I've been working hard this off season and just ready to go back out there and keep earning it every day.
Now, what was it like being around Ozzie Guillen on a regular basis?
Well, you know, Ozzie, you know, he gave me, and like I said, you know, an opportunity to go out there and pitch on a consistent basis and believed in me. You know, I felt like he stood behind his players. You know, I've only been here for, you know, last year was my first year here, so I don't know a lot of stuff that went on, but you know, it seemed like some of the guys were kind of tired of, you know, hearing about, you know, what's Ozzie saying now, you know, in the paper and this and that. But as far as when you're in the clubhouse around him, you know, he likes to joke around and have fun. But, you know, when it comes down to it, it's just like any other manager or, you know, coach that you might have. You know, it's about winning baseball games and going out there and being prepared every day. So, you know, he keeps it loose, and it's going to be interesting in Miami. You know, he's a fun guy to pay attention to because, you know, he's got a lot of funny things to say, and sometimes it's hard to understand what he's saying, but at the same time, he's a character. You know, I have a lot of good things to say about Ozzie, but you know, I think probably for our team, you know, it was time for maybe a change there.
Yeah. So did that mean a change in pitching coaches for you?
No, we've got the same pitching coach, which is good. You know, most of our pitching staff, as far as starters go, you know, are back here. You know, besides Mark Burley, we lost him, but the rest of the guys, you know, are back, and so it's good to have that comfort level. You know, with a pitching coach that's been around a long time, and he's definitely one of the more, you know, respected, you know, minds when it comes to pitching in baseball. So he's definitely an asset to our team, and we're glad to have him back.
Okay, so last year you go 9-9. Your earned run average is under 4. You pitch 163 innings. What do you do to top that this year? Do you set goals like that, or do you just go out there and just try to do the best you can do?
Well, I mean, I'd love to win 20 games. I mean, that's I think that if you ask any starting pitcher, that would probably be the goal to start the year. Secondary to, you know, throwing, you know, going out there every start and pitching 200 innings. So those are, I guess, as far as goals, as far as on paper, that's what you would say. But really, when it comes down to it, it's about making every pitch, as far as being focused on every single pitch. And it's a long season. That's kind of what I learned last year. Physically, I felt like I held up great, and that was the most innings I'd ever thrown, in professional baseball. And I felt good at the end of the year, but more than anything, it was a mental grind. It's just, game after game, month after month, going out there and having that same focus on every start and not letting one start carry over to the next, and even one pitch carry over to the next pitch during a game. You got to be able to make adjustments very, very fast in the big leagues. So, that's probably more than anything what I'll try to keep in mind this year is just being focused as much as possible on every single pitch, and not worrying about what's happened in the past or what's about to happen. So that's what I'm going to try to keep in mind this year.
Where did you spend your off season?
Where did I spend it?
Yeah.
I spent it in Tyler.
Did you? Okay.
I've been over there, I guess, about 6 years now, and Bobby Stroop and I, at APEC. I've been working with him, for the last, I guess, 6 or 7 off seasons, and really feel like he has done a lot for my career as far as being able to, I'm as far as my physical standpoint, I felt like I've come into spring training ready to go every single year, and so yeah, my wife and I are there in Tyler, and we're not very far from where I grew up in Carthage, so I just like to spend time in East Texas, man. It just feels like home to me when I see those pine trees and small towns and everything. That's really what I prefer, and leave the big city life. When we get done with the season, leave that behind.
Yeah, you love this 200-degree summer, don't you?
Well, I don't get to experience that too much anymore. See, I get the best part of it.
You do.
I get the part where it's 75 degrees and sunny, most of the fall. So yeah, you guys can enjoy that summertime for right now, and I don't miss that one bit.
I can only imagine. Now, I wanted to ask you just some general baseball questions because I'm sure this has come up around the clubhouse. What's your take on what went down with Ryan Braun yesterday?
That's a tough one, man. I don't know if I can really comment a whole lot on it just because I don't know all the facts, of the case. We're only hearing, rumors and sources say this, sources say that, but that's tough. I think we have a drug policy that's in place, and hopefully it's restoring, integrity to the game, and you don't want guys, doing things they shouldn't be doing and getting an advantage they shouldn't have. But, as far as I'm concerned, he won his appeal, and he's eligible to play. So, we're not facing the Brewers this year, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. But, I think we're probably going to hear a lot about that during spring training as far as in meetings and things like that. I'm sure there's going to be some changes made to the policy and things like that. But, yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Now, how often do you guys get tested, and are they all random surprise tests?
Well, everyone gets tested during spring training. Coming into spring training, you're going to be tested. But then, yeah, throughout the year, even in the off season, at any time, they can come to you and get a test from you. Like in the off season, you have to tell them, where you're going to be. If you're not going to be at your home address, you got to let them know ahead of time where you're going to be so that they can, if they want to, come collect a sample or whatever they need to do. So it is I think as far as being stringent, it is about as stringent as could be. And this year we started, we did our physicals yesterday, and we started the blood testing, so for the HGH and everything. But, they're trying to do their best, and it's hard to stay ahead of, people that want to cheat and want to have an advantage. It's hard to stay ahead of them, as far as, they can come up with ways to mask whatever they're doing. But Major League Baseball, I think, has done a really good job as far as compared to the other sports in cleaning up the game.
Okay, now, personal life question. Now, what do you do, what's your wife do while you're off pitching and in spring training and then in Chicago? Does she move up there with you, or what's the story?
Yeah, we're fortunate. She gets to travel with me and experience everything with me. And I don't think if we weren't able to do it that way, I'm not sure that I would continue to play baseball, just because family is important, and I don't think it's good to be away from your wife. That extended period of time. Money's one thing, but we like to be together and enjoy it all together. So we're thankful for that.
And no kids right now, right?
We've got one on the way. We'll have a boy is supposed to be here in May, so that'll be our first one. So
congratulations!
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're super excited about that, and it's going to be a change for us, and I'm sure it's going to, hopefully I won't be pitching that day, so I can be there for the birth and everything. But we're going to have a baby boy, and he's going to be delivered in Chicago, which is the only drawback. Won't be able to have that Texas birth certificate, but that'll be okay. We'll get into Texas as soon as possible.
Hey, just buy you some whiteout. You can change that thing up. Nobody will know the difference,
That's right. That's right.
Hey, let me give you one piece of advice. Show up for the birth.
Oh man, that's what we're trying to do. That's why she's having it in Chicago, because I was like, man, there's not a guarantee that I could get to Tyler in time. It's not the easiest place to get to, from other parts of the country. But so that's why we're doing it in Chicago, and so hopefully that'll work out smoothly. We get 3 days off for paternity leave, so she's going to call and tell me when she's headed to the hospital, and I'm going to tell him I got to go. So
that's awesome. Hey, because man, wives don't forget that stuff if you don't show up when the baby's born.
Oh, no doubt, and I don't want to miss that. I wouldn't miss that for the world.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, well, Philip, listen, we really do appreciate you coming on with us today. It was great talking to you. We wish you the best of luck, and we're looking forward to you doing even bigger and better things with the White Sox this coming season. Okay.
I appreciate it, Brian.
Hey, thanks very much for coming on again, and we look forward to talking to you again down the line this season, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, that is Philip Humber, the former Carthage Bulldog, now pitching with the Chicago White Sox and looking for an even better season. He had a nice year last year and looking to advance on that.
This is a Sports Radio Live podcast covering your world of sports. Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live. It's weekdays at 3 on 99.3 Talk FM, the talk of East Texas.